Hello, my name is Mohamed Atef, founder of InfoSec for TC, and today I will show you how can you create a disaster recovery plan, also known as cyber resilience, from scratch. Disaster recovery or cyber resilience is one of the main requirements of any information or cybersecurity framework. And actually, if you check any of the cybersecurity official position like cybersecurity specialist or cybersecurity officer, information security, you will find that one of their main responsibility is to collaborate with IT department or IT staff to build or to develop a disaster recovery plan. So this is one of the mandatory requirements that you should have as an organization. Because what is the cyber resilience or what is the disaster recovery in the first place? Is the ability of your organization to recover and to resume their business after any cyber incident or any disaster. Regardless if it's going to be a cyber disaster, for example, a hacking or a ransomware, or natural disaster, a fire, an earthquake, or even a disaster as per an human, like an employee's problems or an employee mistake or something like that. So you should have a plan that allow your business to restore their critical business function and get back to work in an agreed amount of time. So how can we start that? From where should we start? So as showing in the job description that this is a common responsibility between the security team and between the IT. And most of the heavy work is done by the IT. However, your responsibility as a cybersecurity professional are very, very critical. So let's go to the toolkit and let's see how can we do that. So the first thing that we will check, or the most important document that we will understand how to fill, is called the BIA, or the Business Impact Analysis. This is the main document related to disaster recovery or cyber resilience. This document, you should write down all the critical business function or all the critical service in any department. So for example, let's take the IT department. IT, what kind of service they provide to the organization that is very critical to them. And if this service is not available for a while, it may affect the business. Let's, for example, take the email, okay, the mail service. How important is the email for any organization? It's the main communication channel. If your email if your email service is down for a while, this may affect the business. I mean, if it's down for a couple of hours, fine. But what if it's down for one day and no one is able to reach anyone inside the company cannot reach any of their customer? Is this will affect your business or not? So it should be considered as one of the critical business functions. Same go for the Active Directory. What is the problem if the Active Directory is down? No one will be able to access their account. Everyone will be sitting idle. They cannot log into the domain, right? The company may have a website or a portal. So this needs to be mentioned as the critical business function from IT department. And same go for all the departments. So you should write down in the BIA all the critical business function. Not the software, not the tool, the function. So I didn't mention here, for example, that the critical business function is a Microsoft Exchange, because Microsoft Exchange is not the mail service. To provide the mail service, you need Microsoft Exchange, you need a server, you need internet connectivity, you need a network connectivity. So here you write the critical business function. And here you should write down everything related to the service. How this service works. What exactly is needed to run the service. We need to have a server, we need to have an operating system, we need to have an application like Microsoft Exchange. You put all the details of the services here so you can explain what is needed exactly to run the services. Okay. You even put the name of the custodian. If this service crashed, who should I contact? Who's the one managing the service? Okay. Is this services under support, maybe we have a service provided by third party. So if a problem happens, I will contact the third party or I will contact the company who provide me a support. So you put all the information related to the service in a way that it will help you if any problem happen to know what exactly is needed to re-establish the service and get back to work. So this is usually filled by you, but you need to collect the information from the IT department or finance department because you need to do the same for each department. So you need to collect this information by the department. Guys, what critical service you have and what is the effect of having the service down for a while. And you need to understand the criticality for the organization. Then on the same BIA, this is the most important part, those three different elements, the MTD, the RPO, and the RTO. What is the MTD? The MTD is the maximum tolerant downtime. So each one of those services could be down for a while, for any reason, for maintenance, for a problem, it could be down for a while. Now, eventually, those service will be restored. So for example, let's say any problem happened to the email service, the server, it crashed. Eventually you will restore, or the IT department will restore the application and they will get everything up and running. But if you restore the service within 2 hours, is it the same that if you restore the service within 24 hours? Okay. So you have to mention when the downtime will start affecting the business. So the mail services, how long the company can afford to have the system down and will not affect their operation. 1 hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes. This is called the maximum tolerant downtime. Who should decide about that? Is it you? Definitely not. This should be decided by the organization or the department manager. They know better. They know their services. They know how critical is it for the business. They know if this service is down for 2 hours, it will affect or not for 6 hours, for 24 hours. So you need to get those value from the department managers. Each department need to specify how long they can afford to have the system down. Because you're going to build your restoration plan based on that. If they said, okay, whatever problem happened, you have to restore our system within 2 hours. So you're going to build your plan based on that. And by the way, you're going to need to take a sign off. It's not enough to get those information verbally. You have to get a sign off about those values. So this is the first one, and this is a very, very critical one. Of course, management will say we don't want to have any downtime. Fine, but this will be costly because I need to provide redundancy, I need to allocate more people. So most of the time when you explain to them that, I cannot guarantee 100% availability if the setting is on premises, they will understand and they will give you reasonable values that you can build on it. Once I get the MTD, the second step will be to go to the IT department. I'm already with IT department, but I will go to each system custodian, the guy who's managing the mail server, the guy who's managing the Active Directory, the guy who's managing our web application, each one of them. And I will ask him to create a step-by-step plan on how to restore this system in case it crashed, with screenshots, with explanation, in a way that if this guy is on leave and the system crashed, someone else will take the document and he will follow a step-by-step plan to understand how to restore the system back on board. So each one managing a system inside the IT department, and this system is critical, he needs to create a step-by-step plan. How can he restore it? They are IT departments, they deal with the backup team, they know if a problem happened, how to restore it, how to configure it. So they have to create a document. It's called the restoration plan, or ITSM. ITSM stands for IT Service Continuity Management. ITSM plan for each one of the services. So according to that, if I have 10 services, how many restoration plans should I have? I should have 10 restoration plans. And it should be very, very detailed, with a screenshot, with duration, with steps. as I told you, keep in mind, if this guy left the company, he's on leave, and the disaster happened, I will not stuck. I will get the plan. I will give it to anyone inside the organization and give him the proper permission. And following the plan, he will be able to restore all those systems. I will not be able to share any of the real plan, but you got the idea. Once I get the plan from IT department, are we done? No, because this could be a plan. It could be very well written. However, how can you guarantee that this plan is realistic? How can you guarantee that this plan is really working? That's why the final step is to conduct a restoration testing. So fine, the IT, each one who's managing a system creating a restoration plans, they send it to you. You don't necessarily need to understand what is written inside the plan or what kind of configurations they are doing or whatever is inside the plan, but it should be very comprehensive. But this is not enough. Then you will communicate back to them and tell them, fine, I got the plan. Now let's agree on a date and time to be able to test the plan. Prepare a virtual machine or prepare a server and let's test the plan. Let's see if it's work or not. And on time, you will go to the IT department, sit with the guy who's managing the system and start conducting the plan. You can do that remotely, online, or you can do that on premises, whatever is easier for you. And you will document the test results. So for example, you will put the name of the service here, who attended the testing. The testing will be done by the guy from IT department because he knows how to restore and recover the system, but you are just monitoring and making sure that this is done in the right way. And here you write down what time did you start. For example, you start this time and what time he finished. So for example, let's say he started 12 o'clock or 10 o'clock and he finished 10:35, which means that the achieved RTO, I will explain the RTO, is 35 minutes. So you have to, once he start testing the restoration, you have to record the start time and the end time. And you have to write down how long it took to restore the system. What do we call that? This is called the RTO. This is the real time for restoring the system. It stands for recovery time objective. So if, for example, if he was able to restore the system in 35 minutes and the management requested to have the system restored in 2 hours, let's say that the management requested this value to be 2 hours. Okay. From where did I get what was the management expecting or what is the management requirement is for the MTD. I have to write here the MTD value. And from where did I get the MTD? I get the MTD from the disaster, the business impact analysis. So management requested to be able to restore the system in 2 hours. You ask the IT department to prepare a plan, and when you test it, they were able to restore it in 35 minutes, then the test is successful. Now you have everything in place. You have the business impact analysis, you have a restoration plan in case any problem happened, and you have tested the plan, so no way something could go wrong. This is the full cycle of the disaster recovery plan. You have to do that for all the other services according to their criticality.